Welcome to Lesson 1.2, your first Python containers, variables, and data types. In this module, we're diving into the fundamental building blocks of Python, starting with how it stores information. Think of learning a new language. You start with words and how to put them into sentences. In programming, variables and data types are those foundational words. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to clearly understand what variables are and why they're essential in Python programming. You'll also learn to identify and differentiate between Python's basic data types, like numbers, text, and true-false values. Finally, you'll gain the skill to declare variables and assign different data types to them, preparing you to write your first functional Python scripts. Let's get started. Let's begin by demystifying variables. Imagine your computer's memory as a vast kitchen counter. When you're cooking, you don't just dump all your ingredients directly onto the counter. You use containers, jars for flour, bowls for water, Tupperware for prepped veggies. In Python, a variable is exactly like one of these containers. It's a reserved memory location to store a piece of data. Each container needs a label so you know what's inside, right? That label is the variable name. It allows you to reference and manipulate the data stored within it. For example, you might label a jar sugar and put sugar in it. In Python, you might have a variable named username storing Alice. This simple concept is foundational because it allows your programs to store and work with information dynamically, making them incredibly powerful and flexible. Without variables, every piece of data would be a fixed, unchangeable value, severely limiting what your code could do. Just as your kitchen containers hold different types of ingredients, solid flour, liquid water, granular salt, Python variables hold different data types. Python automatically infers the type of data you're storing, but understanding these types is crucial for writing correct and efficient code. First, we have integers and floating point numbers. Integers are whole numbers, like 10 or -5. Floats are numbers with decimal points, like 3.14 or 0.5. Then there are strings. These are sequences of characters, essentially text, like Hello Python or product name. You'll always see them enclosed in single or double quotes. Finally, we have Booleans. These are the simplest. They can only be true or false. They're incredibly useful for conditional logic, like checking if a user is logged in or if a product is available. Knowing these basic types helps you understand how Python treats your data and prevents errors when you try to perform operations, like adding a number to a piece of text. You wouldn't try to mix flour directly with water in a container meant for dry goods, would you? Now that we know what variables are and what types of data they can hold, let's see how to actually use them. In Python, you create a variable and assign it a value using the equal sign. This is called the assignment operator. For example, product name equals Python course creates a variable named product name and stores the string Python course inside it. You can also update a variable's value. If the price of your course changes, you can simply reassign it. Price equals 49.99. Python will replace the old value with a new one. To see what's inside your container, you use the print function. Print product name will display Python course on your screen. This ability to assign, update, and retrieve values from variables is fundamental to all programming. It allows you to store user input, calculate results, and manage the state of your program as it runs. Think of it as actively organizing your kitchen counter, putting ingredients into their labeled containers and taking them out when you need them for a recipe. We've covered a lot in this lesson, taking our first big steps into Python programming. We started by understanding that variables are essentially labeled containers in your computer's memory, holding different pieces of data. Then we explored Python's fundamental data types, integers for whole numbers, floats for decimals, strings for text, and booleans for true-false values. Knowing these types helps you handle data correctly and prevents errors when you try to perform